everybody, it's Lisa from Shabby Road Studio. Welcome back to another upcycle video. Today is the trench coat. I got this trench coat at a thrift store. I think the same one I got those jeans at, and it was only a couple bucks, I think. It's an Old Navy. It's a cute trench coat, and I feel like somebody put some different buttons on it because they don't match, which is kind of cool. So we're going to leave the buttons alone, but we're going to work on this jacket to make it a little bit more funky and artsy. And so let's get started. Okay, so we have the trench coat laying out on the table. We're going to take the belt out. We're going to set that aside. We don't need it right now. We're going to open this up because we're going to do something in the back here. I want to make it a bigger kind of, I don't know. I want to make it bigger in the back, kind of so it makes it a little bit of a fuller jacket than a straight trench. So we're going to go up. I'm going to remove this belt loop. And then right here where it flaps open, we're going to just cut right up that seam, right under this flap. We're going to leave about 1 inch on the top. So we're going to get rid of this belt loop right now. Take this off first. Okay, so it took me a good while to get this belt loop off, and I did end up cutting the back of the jacket. It was sewn on so good, but that's okay because we're not gonna worry about that. I did want to do, before I cut this up, I want to flip the jacket over. What I want to do is to curve this front. I don't want it to come down and over. I want to do a curve. I'm just trying to decide how far up we want that to be. So like, maybe 11. I'm marking that at 11 inches, and I want to come over so I want to just come down in a gentle curve. Side seam, so we got to keep that in mind. This is the side seam, and this coat is lined, so I'm not sure how well this is gonna go, but so obviously we're gonna go right to here, but we're gonna go kind of like in a curve, and we're just gonna do it. It's scary, but we just have to do it. Just like that. And now we're just gonna flip this around so that I can get the exact same thing on the other side. See, that must be the original button right there. like animal print. So somebody did put these different buttons on. I like that a lot better. Okay, so we gotta line all this up. No, that's not the right seam. I'm just taking this, the edge there. We're just going to pin that right there so that we can get the same curve. Just let's pull that pocket up. That's there. Okay, I think that looks about right. So we're just going to start right there, and we're going to follow our first cut. There we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to take this pin out. Now we're going to open it back up again and work on this back. We're just going to cut up that seam. And remember, we're going to go to about right there, an inch. About an inch from the top. So what we want are straight edges. This coat is lined, so it's going to be a little bit trickier to work with. And now we want this seam even, this edge. So what we have now is a triangle, which is where we're going to add fabric to give this coat a little bit more room and a little bit more swing to it. So I found this sheet in my stash. It's just a big old, I think, king size sheet. Got it at a thrift store. I think this is a pretty close match. So I'm going to measure out the size triangle I want and then cut it out of that sheet. And I'm just kind of laying this out and spreading this out to about the size that I want that triangle to be. And to me, that looks about right. That looks like about the right amount. So we're gonna measure from up here, and it's about, say about 29 inches. We want a triangle that's about 29 inches long and leave a little bit for seam allowance. Looks like about 11. So 11 by 29 is what I'm going to cut out. Okay, I have the sheet laid out. Hopefully you can see it. And I'm going to utilize the top part of the sheet. So this is going to be the bottom of the triangle. And I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to go to about 12 from here to here. And then we're going to go 29. It's at 29, so I'm going to make a mark up here. Just going to kind of give myself some places to cut. Cut along there. And just a guideline. These aren't perfect, but I wanted something to go by. Okay, so I have my triangle cut out. The plan is to sew this triangle right here. And it will increase the size of this jacket and it'll all work out. So, those two line up. We're gonna sew up here. We're gonna sew wrong sides together. And why are we doing it? Because that's the way we want it to look. We want it to look artsy, rustic. It's boho, shabby, and then the raw edges will fray a little bit. It'll look good. So I'm going to take this to the machine and I'm going to sew these together and I'll be back. Okay, change of plans, and this happens in upcycling all the time. There are no rules, there's no hard and fast anything. I had an issue putting in that panel, and I took it out, seam ripped it out because the lining was just, it was messing me up. So then I tried it again after I cut the lining out of the coat, and it just wasn't working. So I took this fabric I was going to use anyway, and I just made a panel and just sewed it over the top of my opening with a zigzag stitch. And this is the look we're going to have on the back of the jacket. So it gives it that space that I'm looking for. So we're going to be sewing a ruffle along the bottom of the coat. And then I'll be cutting out some of these flowers, and we're going to do some applique on the rest of the coat. Okay, I bought this crocheted tablecloth from an online auction. There are spots on it, but there's a lot of usable fabric here, a lot of usable lace. So this is that curve that I cut in the front of the jacket. What I want to do is kind of take this and just kind of pleat it as I go and just kind of make a ruffle around the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine, and then when I run out I will just cut another strip of the tablecloth and attach it and keep going around. So I will be back when I'm done sewing this on. Okay, so I got the lace sewn on and I love it. I just, when I ran out, I just added another piece. I didn't connect them, I just let them fall loose. I may cut that. I may cut this piece. I don't like the way it's hanging, but I love the way the lace is looking. So I'm happy with it so far. And now I'm going to cut out some appliques from the rest of this fabric. Okay, so I have cut out some flowers from that fabric, and I have backed it with some interfacing just to give it some more body to help when I'm sewing them on. And also I cut out 3 patches from a sample thing, where a sample upholstery book. I picked out several that I thought would kind of go with our theme, our boho theme. So I'm gonna take these over to the mannequin and hopefully try to find where I want them and pin them on, and I will show you, and then I'll take them to the sewing machine and sew them on. Okay, so I have pinned on these appliques where I hope to sew them on if all goes well. So you can see these are just pinned on. I'm going to do some patches here, appliques here and here, one down here on the pocket there, or below the pocket. I'm going to put a patch and then applique here and a couple little patches down here. And I think that's about it. So let's go see if I can pull this off. Okay, so I have sewn on all of the appliques, and I have never done appliques before. I didn't realize how much work there was. It took me a while, but luckily you didn't have to watch all of that. So I've got them all sewed on. I got these patches done here, cut the holes for the buttons, did all that. This is all done. Some patches down here. And it's looking really cute. I really like it. But I had an idea. All these ideas pop into your head mid-project and you're like, ooh, what if? So what if, I mean, it's cute. I like it. But the taupe, you know, the tan. So when we were at the Amish flea market, we came across some vintage dye, fabric dye, Tintex. I mean, look how old this is, you guys. 98 cents. And this is a lovely jade green. And I was wondering what this jacket would look like. Dyed jade green. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and when you see me next, you're gonna see the results. Wish me luck. Well, what do you think? It's green. I love it. I don't know why this green is like, it's that vintage green. I absolutely love it. I love how it turned out. Flip it around for you. I almost forgot to put the belt in. I left the belt sitting here and I had this in the wash, and then I thought of it, so I threw it in. But yeah, I love the way that the green took differently in all of the different kinds of fabrics and the lace. I really love it. What do you think? It's green. I like it.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.